Hello and welcome to the first part of our computer appreciation course. My name is Ifan Ojo and I'm going to be your instructor and facilitator. What are we going to cover in this first part? We're going to look at the basic introduction to computer, the functional part of a computer, memory, anatomy of computer, history, classification of computers, working with Windows, keyboard, and software. So without further waste of time, we're going to proceed to the first part. What is a computer? So if you're asked to define a computer, what will you say is a computer? Well, over here, I'm going to define a computer to be any machine, as you can see on your screen, any machine or device which under the control of a stored program can accept data in a prescribed form, process data and supply the result as information in a specified form. Now let's look at this again. The three basic functions of a computer we have is to accept data. That is to say, any computer must be able to accept data. That means collecting something from the user, must process the data, that is working on that data. Okay, I have collected this data. What am I to do with it? So the computer must be able to process data, that is to work on that data. And finally, must be able to supply the result as information. Now, take note, this is done under the control of a stored program. What is a program, you might ask? Well, a program simply is a set of instructions or rules that guides the computer in solving problem. A set of instruction that tells the computer what to do and how to do it. That is what a program is. So this program is embedded in the computer. So it is what directs the computer, what guides the computer in solving problem. So like we said earlier, a computer must be able to accept data, process data, and supply the result as information. Next, we're going to look at the functional parts of a computer. The computer has parts, just as the human body. We have parts of the human body, the head, the hand, the leg, etc. And these different parts have their different functions. So also, the computer also has functional parts. And then we're going to group them into two: input device and output device. Remember, when we define the computer, we say the computer can accept data. So, how does the computer accept data? It is through the help of this input device, which is a part of the computer that helps the computer to collect data. We also see that a computer can supply results, can show you what has been processed. And what helps the computer to do that? It is a part of the computer known as the output device. So these parts help display or help communicate to the user what the computer has done. So we're going to proceed with the first part, input device. As you can see on the screen, an input device accepts data from the outside and converts it to electronic form that the computer understands. An example of input device, we have the keyboard, we have the mouse, we have the touch screen, we have the scanner, and we have the digital camera. So you take time, you read through this stuff, and you see the detailed explanation of these different parts of the computer. So a keyboard, how do you send an instruction? By typing. So let's say I type I want to type my name. I say my name is Ifeanyi. How did I send in that data? How did I communicate to the computer? It is the input device, it is the keyboard that helps me, which is an input device because I am sending in data into the computer. We also have the mouse. It's also an input device because you use it to give instructions or command. You click, you double click. These are instructions you are sending into the computer. We also have the touch screen. A touch screen is an input device. Most mobile phones today come with touch screen. So it is what allows or enables you to send in command into the computer. You want to make a call, you dial on the keypad, and then you send the number. So you want to do something, you tap, or tap on the touchpad there, and then the instruction is carried out. So it's an input device. Also, a scanner is an input device. So this is an input device that is used to scan documents or pictures into the computer. So you want to send in documents. Let's say you have a CV and you want to send into the computer as a soft copy. How do you do that? You use this input device known as scanner. So when you place your documents on the computer on the device, on the scanner device, it sends it translates it or transfers it into a soft copy into the computer, whereby you can then have it as a soft copy inside the computer. So how were you able to send this thing into the computer? This with the aid of this input device. We also have digital cameras on phone, and from what is stated here, they can um, it can serve as both input and output, because a phone has a screen, it also has a touchpad. So the touchpad enables you to send in something. The screen there, which you can also see, helps shows what has been done inside the computer. So that is the first part, input device. Now we are moving over to the next part, which is the output device. What is an output device? An output device does the opposite of an input device. So this time it converts data from an electronic form inside the computer to a form that can be accepted outside the computer. Example, monitor, printers, speakers. These are all output devices. And take note, a computer does not understand a normal language, English or any other language. Rather, what the computer understands is in binary numbers, zeros and one. So this is how computer sees any data, anything that is communicated to it. So on the keyboard, I might type A. I see it as A, but the computer doesn't see it as A. Rather, you translate it to its computer equivalent language, which is referred to as the machine language. That is how it understands. And then when it wants to bring it back to the how you can understand it, it reconverts it back and then shows you what you actually see. So that is the two parts: input device and the output device. The picture on your screen shows a standard desktop computer. As you can see, this is the monitor, which is an input device. This is what is referred to as a system unit. Yes, a lot of persons confuse this to be the CPU. No, this is not the CPU. This is the system unit. The CPU stands for Central Processing Unit, or you can call it the processor. It is inside this box on the motherboard. So inside this box, you have other components of the computer. The motherboard is there, and then on the motherboard, you have the processor, you have the hard disk and other major components there. And you also see you can see the keyboard, you can see the speakers, which is attached. You see the mouse. This is the mouse. So this is a desktop computer. A desktop computer is good under personal computer. When you talk about PCs, personal computer, the desktop computer is among, and a laptop computer. A laptop computer is just a portable PC, because this time you can carry it around. But whereby this desktop computer, you can't move it around. This is a printer. There are different types of printer. You have inkjet, you have laser, and other type. And this is the CPU. Sorry, this is the system unit. As you can see, I'm just trying to show you what's inside. The hard drive, which is the hard disk, which is also a storage device. It's inside. This is the secondary storage, rather. It's inside the system unit. That is, if you're using a desktop computer. But if you're using a laptop computer, just on that section where your keyboard is, if you open the computer, if you open the laptop, the hard disk or the motherboard, everything is also there. It makes it portable. That's why you can carry it around. So that is it for the first part of our course. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you in the next class.